What's up, everybody? It's Big Block here. I hate intros. Man. What's up, everybody? It's Big Block here. Don't even expect a good intro, but basically what you're seeing right now is like 3 weeks into the whole build, and the bike is almost finished. But now going back, I realized, John, you didn't do a reveal. You didn't do a fucking reveal of the new bike. Nobody knows what the new bike is. So I just started building and, you know, getting all the parts together, and I was filming the whole build, but I didn't do a reveal. So I have some pictures of the bike when it was stock. Yeah. But basically, I got a 2010 Sportster 48. Here's some pictures. And with that being said, we're gonna start the first episode, which we're gonna go like 3 weeks back in terms of footage. Alright, have fun. A shit ton of parts just arrived, so I'm gonna be showing you. I fucking hate intros. Yeah, we got the ape hangers, a bunch of smaller stuff like coil relocation. Oh no, that's a seat mount. We got some short springies, little brake fluid, extractor, fucking cables. Then we got the whole burly kit for extending all the wiring and brake lines and clutch cable. We got the fender that we're gonna be cutting. This is actually the coil relocation thingy. What is this? What is this? Oh, that's the goddamn, the fucking license plate holder for the side. And we bought a whole bunch of American tools because I only had metric, and yeah, you apparently need American tools to work on a Harley Davidson, duh. Avon grips and a S&S airfilter, which is actually going to be the first installation that you guys are going to be seeing, is the S&S airfilter, because that's what I'm going to be doing in half an hour. So by the time you see this video, I probably already got cracking. No. Am I stupid? By the time you see this video, I'm done, obviously. Yeah. Alright. Total of about 1.5 grand was spent for all the parts, which is still cheaper than the exhaust, which is kind of sad to think about, that a single exhaust is more expensive than all those parts. Oh yeah, and we got some Kellerman tail lights, which you guys are gonna be excited for this. These things are fucking tiny. Like, that's the size. That's my finger next to it. It's crazy. Really tiny. Gonna look amazing. Alright. Let's get going with the air filter. We're gonna teleport over. Alright guys, here we are at the bike, and alright guys, here we are at the bike, and as you've already seen by the intro probably, first step is gonna be slapping this bad puppy on here, removing this ugly thing, and yeah, trying to get a little bit more power out of that 48. I do apologize for the absolutely horrible camera angle. I haven't actually gotten around to buying a tripod. Why the fuck, I don't know, honestly, because I'm a fucking moron, that's why. I'll figure something out in a sec. Might set you down on some random box that I find. But yeah, first step is gonna be removing those 2 screws, pulling the fucking cover off, and we'll move from there. Yeah. All right, this is a 3/16 Allen. My fucking knee in the way. All right, let me pull this puppy off. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to get this removed, because I genuinely find the stock airbox ugly as hell. Like, it is not pretty by any means. On the inside, there's a couple of Torx screws, 3. That is a size 27, as far as I am aware. Get this out. All right. Oh, that came out pretty easily. Nice, very nice. Gotta work on my camera angling. I'm not used to filming and working at the same time. Shit. Yeah, there's a good example of what you're not supposed to do. But and it's a long ass screw, actually. As you guys can tell, I didn't read any manuals or anything beforehand, so I don't know if I'm doing it right, but it can't be that hard, so we'll see. And voila! So this is definitely gonna be Americanese, and that is why I got my Americanese tools. Or actually bought a set of Americanese sizes. Alright, it's a 9/16. Okay. You guys should switch to the metric system, you fucking assholes. Gunked up and shit in there. As far as I'm aware, with the Sportster, that's a little system that, like, air actually has to go through these bolts, as far as I'm aware. And yeah, the bolt is pretty gunked up. It's kind of gross. And there's a little canal that goes in there where the bolt was. I've only heard that somewhere, so I'm not fully aware if that's true or not. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's the way it works. Yeah, that's when we pull off the big plate. Cool. All right, so pretty much everything's pulled off now. I don't know if S&S actually gives you a new little bracket. I'll have to check that out in the box. And yeah, whoop, whoop. Nice. So this is the backing plate. Apparently you get a little gasket with that goes on there. And what you're supposed to do as a first step is locating those 3 bolts right here and putting them through the gasket and onto the backing plate. So S&S actually gives you different breather bolts. Okay, there's a little hole inside so the airflow can continue. It just doesn't go out anymore. So I think it will just freely pass through each cylinder rather than having some interference going on. So I think that's the way it works. I don't know the way the system works. I've never actually done my research because I genuinely don't give a shit. So yeah. So there's 8 washers that actually fell out of the bag a second ago. And first thing you're supposed to do is put 1 washer on the bolt. Now this is a little fiddly because all these screws really just want to fall back out, especially those 2. So And there goes my fucking gasket. I forgot how thick blue Loctite is. I hate that stuff. All right. Wasn't too thorough with it, but should work out just fine. Now let me figure out what fucking size this is. I'm guessing it's a 5/16, or is it? Yeah, it's a 5/16. Now, trying to get these tools out into my hands without dropping any of the things. No gasket, no screw, nothing. It's actually kind of hard. Alright, there goes the first bolt, at least to some degree. General rule of thumb, if you're tightening a lot of bolts at the same time that hold one piece, never tighten one bolt down completely. Just get them all in there first so you can align stuff later and still move the piece like so. What? Wait. That for some reason looks like it doesn't really fit too well. Almost like it's metric or something. It's kind of fucked up. Or almost like I took a size too small. Smart, smart. Alright. Get these suckers in there as well. Backing platey screws. Let me get a front view of this. You got those three. 1, 2, and 3. And those 2. Alright. So those need to go in there fairly tight, as far as I'm aware. And they are humongous bolts, so it would only make sense to put them in there pretty tight. Although be careful because they do go inside of your cylinder, which is not a part of the motorcycle that you want to be drilling into if you ever break a bolt. So be careful. I need to stand up a little bit to get some extra leverage here. I don't know the torque specs, to be honest with you guys, but I'm gonna just do as hard as I can and call it a day. If you want the official torque specs, then I am sorry, because I don't know the official torque specs. Alright, now for the small boys. Alrighty guys, we just had a disastrous setback. So according to the manual, it was a tiny part. It was one sentence that I didn't read, is that you have to remove this bracket. I did not do that. So what happened is this gap here was too large, and so when tightening down those 3 bolts, the plate that was out too far essentially acted like a lever. And so what happened is it fucking cracked the throttle body in there. And I don't know how bad it is in terms of air leaking through. It is quite a substantial crack, sadly, and it's gonna prevent me from being able to properly tighten this thing down. So yeah, on the parts list, the new throttle body. Yeah, guess I had to learn this the hard way, to really thoroughly read the manual before I start doing anything on the bike. And after that, even to piss me off a little more, one of the washers actually dropped straight down into here, and so I had to remove this entire fucking plate. Which, where the hell did I even put it? Yeah, back here. I had to remove the entire plate just to get that washer out of there. Yeah, that did piss me off pretty good. But it is what it is. We'll keep cracking on it, and well, not in the literal sense. I hope we don't put another crack anywhere. Yeah, no more cracks, please. But yeah. Alright, gonna move on from here. Alright, so everything is mounted properly now, Loctited. As you can see, the problem was due to the bracket still being here, it gave this part an extra gap. And so right here between the gasket and the manifold, or the intake, there was a pretty big gap. And so tightening those bolts pulled this thin part right here outward and gave it some pretty good leverage to then crack and create this little guy right here. Yeah, but we'll crack on with the installation and try to finish it. John, 3 weeks ago, who was installing the whole thing, got pretty pissed off about the crack in the intake manifold and decided to not film the rest of what he was doing. But quick explanation, I just had to take everything back off, remove the fucking bracket, put it back on, everything, all 5 screws Loctited. Then you put the air filter on top, you put the cover on top, 2 screws, Loctite the 2 screws, and that's it, you're done. So that's a simple part of the build. The installation itself is pretty simple actually, it's just that I forgot to remove the bracket that really caused that massive crack, which sucks, but it is what it is. Alright, here's some footage of the bike running and sounding. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, we're pretty much done with the installation. This is it right here, the S&S Teardrop. Looks pretty good, to be honest. There you go. As you can hear by the crackling, I've already tried it out and she runs pretty good. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one.